Just a minute. Give me just a minute. Okay. Actually, I need to do something first. I actually need to check something. I need to do something. Okay. I need to check and make sure that I was online. I had a big fail. I had a big fail. Like, I'm talking big fail. Okay. So, the entire summer, I have spent, looking at different ways to stream onto YouTube and Twitch and kind of the streaming culture and following people, commenting, all that kind of stuff. I'm interested in it. Getting cool mics, figuring out what kind of filters I need to put on, all that kind of stuff, right? I just realized that I'm sitting very far away. So I realized that I'm able to use a lot of this stuff now. I'm to the point that I have one camera here, one camera here, one camera there, and lights that are going off, and a stream deck and all this stuff, right? I think, you know what? I could probably put this into the software that I'm going to use for teleconferencing for class. I kind of figured I would be able to do this. Anyways. That's not exactly what happened. What happened was I decided I would go online, or I would go on to OBS, make sure I had everything installed, and then make a different profile, and then have a profile that I would be able to use as a clean slate to be able to show my the creation of how you'd be able to set one up for class, and also set my own up for class. Problem is, I had never used scene collections before. I now know scene collections are not part of your profile. So if you have all of your scenes saved, or all of your scenes created, they're saved in a different place than the makeup, the look of where all of your panels are and how it's connecting and the different settings that you have for the look of OBS. Because it's the profile. Your scenes are not part of that. So what I did is I went through and I deleted every single scene that I had made under my default profile, thinking, and my default scene, thinking that they were the same, and I would be able to, thinking I would be able to change profiles back, and then the scenes would be there. I changed profiles over, and all of my scenes are gone. So if I try to use any of the Okay, see, even that immediately kicked me out. I immediately had a problem with it because I was trying to use blackout, which is a um, a specific scene, but it's part of the default profile. So it switched profiles and all of the scenes. So it switched scene collections. So I went over and then all I have is blackout. So I have to decide how much of this do I want to spend building to look like what I had before. How much do I care? Because I'm not looking at getting streamers here or getting subscribers here and making, this into some kind of career. I'm looking at this being something that I know about, so I can talk to my students about it. I can stream it to my class. I can make class a little bit more interesting, and it's just kind of staying up to date with what's going on. And it also provides me a kind of like a profile of my research, because a lot of my art and design needs to have kind of like a backup, an archive. And a lot of times it's hard to find. It's hard to show and point to someplace. So if I can point to YouTube, or I can point to Twitch and say, this, see, right there, that's how I research. That's how I do what I do. Cat, every time. So how much play do I give myself in creating a new profile? How much do I and scenes, how much do I just give myself the option to do something like, let me switch scenes real quick. My apologies when the audio cuts out. But I can show you what happens if I decide to switch scene collections. Okay, so yeah. Now, so this is one that I could use. There are ones that are already pre-built, and because I paid for the Streamlabs OBS subscription. Yeah, let me see if this works real quick. Yeah, I found that recently scene collections from that can be imported into OBS. Great. Okay, so I have some scene collections. As you can see here, I have my alert box already set up. I have, although that's going to be in the wrong position, my alert box. I mean, I'd have to do this and then figure out how do you act like there's an alert if you're not in Streamlabs. I don't know. But I could use something like this, strip it down, just use what I'd like. I could go to, here, let me do something real quick. If I got it, this would be like, now that, that was something. So, needless to say, I have to figure out, do I want to strip down something like this? Or do I want to build something completely my own, new from scratch? Do I want to build basically what I had before, which is when I was learning? Or do I just not care and do everything on the fly? Set up a few, basic scenes. But basically make it a playground where it's always changing, because what I'm doing is always changing anyways, and something like this might happen. Just make a default. Oh. Anybody in chat have any options? Or any ideas? What do you suggest? Hey, new follower. Thanks, the wee Scott. Is that how you say it? Would it be the wee Scott? That's how I would say it. I'm trying to decide. So we're talking about failure here. I just found out that I deleted all of my scenes from my scene collection in OBS. I have my profiles, but I did not understand that there was a disconnect between profiles and scene collection. So what do I do? Your answer is yes. Yeah, I mean, is Streamlabs... So the reason I've been hopping back and forth. I used Streamlabs for a little while because I went ahead and paid for it. They had some cool options like this chat, like this overlay, and it gave me the option to go ahead and do it. But then I realized that there were some things that Streamlabs did not have that I wanted, that the regular OBS, the open source OBS, because it was more up to date, had, and I could use the plugins. So, for instance, NDI. I went at NDI because I use Touch Designer quite a bit. Same thing as Virtual Cam. I wanted the ability to open up my Zoom and look at what was going on with the camera. I mean, sorry, not with the camera. Whoa, sorry about that. I was trying to switch over to be able to see your comment, but everything is so messed up right now. I can't even see what the comments are right now. That's how bad it is. I'm opening up my own chat. Just a second. Let me pause it because there's gonna be a mute it.
Yes. I'm opening up.
Oh, of course. And won't let me see the line. Yeah, failure is a part of just how we deal with these failures and setbacks. And if we're talking about it right now, man, we're having a lot of them. We are starting school, so I'm a teacher, and I'm, working with students, and working with faculty, and working with administration, and it's tough. Everybody's trying to do their best. We really are, but it's tough. So I don't know. Maybe the answer is I set it up in such a way that it's constantly changing. That every single time that you open up what you see on Twitch, it's different. That takes so much time though. You know what I mean? Like I don't have that much time. If I use this just the default, let me go back to the default. Actually, let me see if there's any other ones that are options. Sorry when this cuts out. So this is the original one, where I was originally discussing what happened. I do have, this is what I have based on what I made 2 months ago. I have these. I'll copy the audio real quick. I know the video is horrible. My apologies. But I know I have blackout starting soon, which has nothing because I think the text is actually incorrect. I think this is made for Mac. This is supposed to be for the welcome screen, but it also has no audio or no text. This is the chat screen. No, this is just a webcam screen. I don't know what I meant for that. Here's where chat is supposed to be. Yeah, all of my fonts are gone. This is the intermission screen. Okay, so let me go ahead and change just like a couple of the cameras and see if that'll help, because if I can get maybe one or two of the things, no, I'm gonna have to change. All these white lines are just placeholders anyways, because it's all stuff that I was hoping to be able to do when I had when I was thinking about using chat more. So maybe what I'll do, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to this because it kind of looks cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something like this. This kind of setup where I'm just showing a single screen and single yeah, one screen with OBS, and I'll be able to turn off preview. So I know, like right now, I'm looking over at my Twitch screen or my Twitch stream, and I know that there's nothing that's showing up here in the preview area. So I can go ahead and not have that crazy zooming effect. Or maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll go ahead and I'll go through and I'll make what I'm going to use for class. And then after that, I'll go back and I'll make it all to the point where part by part, okay, I'm going to make this something that has individual sections. So setting up my scenes, setting up my audio, setting up my video, etc., etc. Because each of these things you're going to have to be done individually. Because I've put filters on, I've put LUTs on, I've put all kinds of stuff. I had to mirror things. I had to, yeah. Yeah. And I think, Scott, what I'm thinking is there might be just some interest in being able to see somebody put it together, because I've gone through the process of putting this together over the last couple of months, and so it's going to be easy for me to put it together, and I'll know where to look for the what plugins, and to make sure that if I can direct this towards people that are wanting to use this in teaching and teleconferencing and in business or in or even gamers. The gamers might want to have 4 or 5 different cameras streaming on them at different times, and have Touch Designer running in the background with Python scripts that are sending them triggers. I don't know, but if I start off from the very, very beginning, which is now, because I have nothing, maybe it gives the opportunity for other people to kind of go, okay, I need to do that exactly, because that's the exact same place I'm in. I don't have these other things installed. Now there are some things that I know I do have installed that are like plugins and stuff that were not erased that I'll have to take a look at. I think that might be the best solution for me, though, is to really start at a place of nothing. Start at a place where, sadly where I'm at, it looks more like, well, let me see. Where are my scenes? Looks more like this. And then I have to go through individually, and you'll watch me on screen change it. And I'll share the whole screen, so what I think I might have to do, well, because this entire thing, here's the issue that I'm having right now. Already, here's my issue. If I'm wanting to show the creation of this, I want you to be able to see OBS. Currently, you can't see OBS until I put on a window capture or a video capture device. So if I put on a video capture device, which I'm doing right now, I'm going to go ahead and put in the FHD webcam. Okay, now, boop. Now you can see what I'm doing. But every time that I create a new scene, watch, I'll create a new scene. Scene 3. And you couldn't hear me talking, you couldn't see anything. So what I'm going to have to do is stream everything. Well, first I need to decide if I'm going to stick with Streamlabs OBS or OBS, just the regular version, or jump back over to Streamlabs OBS, because Streamlabs OBS just recently released Virtual Cam. And if I can get that to work, that'll be a lot easier to tell people how to use. I wish I could make something that was both usable on Mac and PC, because I switch between PCs and between Macs. The nice thing is with Streamlabs, you hop onto different PCs and you're good to go. OBS, you have to import, export profiles and scenes. Obviously, that's an issue. I found that to be an issue. I'm going to go ahead and oh no, I'm not. I'm going to go back to a larger version of seeing myself. Sorry, it's more about me and less about the repetition of seeing everything going crazy right now. So my options, well, I also have another PC. I have an HDMI in. And this is the thing that I can do. I could create the profile on my PC. I think what I'm going to do is make the I think I'm going to make the profile. Sorry, this is getting really, really dark. Let me alter this. This is one of the things that you have to do. See, if you haven't already gone through and changed stuff like this, you'll have a serious problem with the video. Why is it a -7? Okay. There we go. So if I end up making everything on my PC and I have it stream through HDMI over to the PC, or over to the HDMI switcher. It's a 4-port switcher, and then that goes to HDMI into the PC laptop. Then I can show the setup of the Mac version. The problem is when I switch over, unless I've made a PC version, then I'd have to make a PC version of it. I mean, yeah, it would be making a PC version. Dang it. I wonder how much... That might be part of it, actually, is figuring out how much of it is transferable. Because I know... Here, let me do this. I know that you can take stuff from... Let's see, scene collection... Add files to the window. And these are scene collections, but they're from slobs, right? So these are JSONs from slobs. So if I wanted to, I can import the dark mode, right? I just imported dark mode. Now I'm going to switch over to dark mode, so there probably will be an issue. My apologies. Dark mode. Yeah, definitely issues there. And my video is back to being too dark. That's what happens. Configure video. See, every time I have to do this, so I'm finding out if I'm going to switch scenes or profiles, I have to set up the capture device every time. Ooh. No. Yeah, that's right. So you can't change profiles in the middle, excuse me, in the middle, but you can change scenes. So I guess if I had a scene for like viewing, a scene for chat, is that what I would want? It seems like it'd be really okay. In LED, I mean, they didn't change profiles. Hey, thanks, Scott. Appreciate the follow. I will see you around. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the... God damn. I'm back to having nothing. I really do have nothing on here now. Okay, one of the nice things that I can see from right here is I have things like the alert box, and so these are good. for the most part. Why is 1280 by 720 so big? That's not good. So he was 800 by 600 earlier, which was why it was switched. But if I go ahead and make some changes to the chat box and alert box, I mean, I could just strip it out and make this my scene default. I mean, might as well. Last cheer, last follower, last sub, last donation. And I wish I knew how these were set up. I'd have to open up Streamlabs. So, next, what would I do? That's right. I go ahead and open up Streamlabs. Now, Streamlabs. Let's make a pros and cons list. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Okay? Let's solve this. So, Streamlabs. No, we can't say Streamlabs. If we're going to stick with it, we got to call it Slobs. Then we got to go with regular OBS. Classic. We're not even going to talk about Stream Elements because I don't have a subscription for that, and I have one for Streamlabs. So that's the one that I'm going to consider. Okay. Well, it's cross-platform. They're both cross-platform. I don't need to put that. But they have cloud-based. What is it called? What is this called? Cloud-based style, aesthetics, profiles. Is it the profiles and scene collections? Is it? Does anybody out there know if both profiles and scene collections are? That's one of the things we'll have to take a look at here in a second. So we got a pros, con, local, profile, and scene collections. Paid for. But the nice thing about Slobs is it's free. Oops. Pro. Free. Con. Not updated as regularly. Anybody want to add in? Anybody have anything they want to add? Feel free at any time. Whoa, hello. To add in to my list of pros and cons. Whoops. For going with Slobs or OBS. I'm gonna put already because pro. A pro is that they have pre-built profiles and scenes for download. Um, it's a DIY, or I mean, you can find. There are some that look okay, but most don't. Let's be honest. It's a DIY or local production of profiles and collections. I mean, you don't need very many. When you... So I'm looking at Streamlabs now, and I have a pretty dang good slobs start. Let me show you what I have. So this is my blackout. These are just a bunch that I was trying. These are what comes with slobs. So you can get the credits for who ended up like the Wee Scott. The Wee Scott was one of my subscriber or followers from today. So his name would go at the end of today for credits. Chat box, etc. A jar, donation jar, etc. So all that kind of stuff is set up. That was the Streamlabs part of it. Some of that I can take out, and I believe most of this I can take out and put in as an overlay in OBS. So if I really want to, sorry, I've got this glare on me. I know that's gonna mess up my lighting, so let me turn up my lighting. Is that alright? I'm waiting to see on Twitch to see how it looks. I know I still have this line right here. My apologies. Alright. So this is what I have on Streamlabs. Not a bad start. You know, I already have a starting soon screen, and as you can tell, it works. A lot of what I did for the current version of what I was using, or what was the current version I was using of OBS, of this version, was based off of my Streamlabs makes. Very streamlined, black and white, a couple of lines, and then I started adding in some plugins. One of the plugins, I just realized one of the plugins that's that wasn't available, was a more advanced way of animating. Now, I know there's Advanced Overlay Maker, but what I don't know see, there's like, how fast is it? It's taking up 6. There are some nice things. I mean, no, and I was gonna say there are some nice things that it doesn't have, but this is in OBS. Test widgets is not in OBS. I really like the ability to test a widget. Just the ability to click a single button. Why isn't this popping up? Come on. You think you're offline? You're not offline. Maybe because I'm online on Streamlabs, it's having some issues. Okay. So I still have an issue. My issue has not changed. My issue has not changed. I I'm currently without a profile aesthetic or scene setup in my scene collections to be able to use OBS or Streamlabs OBS for class, which I would like to. First thing I think I would like to do, make sure that Streamlabs can actually go to here's the thing. This is a new feature. This is one of the reasons. This is the only reason. So why? What? What? Okay, in most conferencing apps. And then I head over to Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and open up Zoom. This is the only reason that I'm actually even considering OBS or Streamlabs right now. Because all these sources I can pull in. I like the aesthetic of slobs. I like some of the plugins of slobs, the movements, all that kind of stuff. But man, the plugins, it's not even a contender when it comes to what you can do live and just, you know, the other thing is there's like that open source environment with people that I was talking to that are trying to use this for the first time, and they just want to help out. So I think I might go with the open source version again. Okay, yeah, slobs. So what that's doing is that's using my second camera because my first camera is currently being used by none other than it's not responding. She's one of the audio components. Join. I'm joined. Now the question is, does it show up? I have yet to see it show up here. I have spout cam. I have OBS camera. But it does not show up. So sorry, slobs. But until I see, I mean, look, spout cam, it's gonna be nothing. Bunch of static. OBS camera. Oh, hey. OBS camera, there it is. Check us out. Now, I don't exactly like some of the resolution changes. The contrast is different. We got some brightness out. But, hey. Look at that. I just put... Alright. Looks like I'm going to be making a little... And you might have to install Virtual Cam, the plugin. And I know there's another one that I'm going to have to make with, like, what is it? 2v4L loop back, something like that. That's the only way. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that I'm gonna have to do for Mac version, but slobs is an option. I'm gonna continue to look at slobs because look, it works in one and yeah, it's currently getting my... Yep, that's my input. Or speaker and microphone. Yeah. So it's definitely something I'm gonna have to continue to take a look at. But we'll close this. No, wait. That. Ooh, I just realized the whole time that was not. That was. I still have yet to find something with slobs that works for a virtual camera. I need to start. Go over here. My apologies. Tools. My virtual cam here was started. I need to stop it real quick. I need to go over to slobs. I need to go down to settings. I'm gonna have to do this quickly because I have a screaming baby. Virtual cam. Stop. And then start again. And okay. Let's take a look at where we're at. Oh, I closed everything in Zoom. I know I could put it back into. At this point, I could bring it back in from. I should be able to at least take it in from slobs into OBS. I can do this whole loop thing, but I would like to do this instead. Hey. What? Wait, what's coming out of... Okay, good. Yeah. So I just have to make sure... Okay, so slobs works. Let's try this way. Boop, boop. And boop, boop. What in the world's going on? Come on. Okay, let me get a chat. Okay. Okay, so I'm finding out that there's also a lot of things that I set up just recently in OBS, like these separate scenes as sources that I can bring in. That might be nice if I've already done that. My problem is animation. I want to say how much animation I can bring into this, because a lot of these, yeah, they're fun meme boards and stuff, but Slobs is really made for people that want to be streamers, and that's not really what I care about being. I care about being more up to date, trying things out, and I think there might be plugins that come in for OBS that are connected to things like Twitch quicker than they do with Slobs, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's my thought. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep thinking. Let me know what you think in the comment bar below. Don't forget to subscribe.